Okay, so let's look some more at clinically relevant behavior and how to identify them in session. So the crucial point here is that identifying CRB is a collaborative exercise with your client. It's not something for you to do in your mind and go, I know what the clinically relevant behavior is for this client. A behavior, you can only work on a CRB if the client recognizes it and not just you. So it's going to be collaborative, and the best way to do that is simply ask the client. So if you're using the ACT matrix, for example, you can always ask, well, what you're doing right now, is this an away move away from what you don't want to feel or think, or is it a toward move toward who and what is important? And once the client has answered well, say the client says, it's an away, it's hard for me to express my needs, then you can ask the client, well, does this only show up with me here, or is it also something that shows up in your life? And only when the client says, oh no, it's very difficult for me to express my needs, that you then have a CRB with which you can work in session. One important point about identifying a CRB is that the same CRB can take different forms. For example, that behavior of not being able to ask for one's needs may take very different forms. Maybe at work, the form this behavior takes is the client will say yes to every new task that colleagues or bosses will actually push to him, without expressing his needs of having more time or spending more time on a particular task. At home, it could take a very different form. Maybe the form it will take is the form of arguments, disputes with his partner, simply because it's so hard for him to express his needs that he blows up without expressing them, but then there's this big argument. And with you, the form will again be different. Maybe just saying something, well, I'll let you decide what to put on the agenda, or you seem to know where you're going, so I'll let you do it. So you see, they can have very different forms, but in fact be the same behavior. And helping clients to recognize that those different forms of the same behavior is very useful, because once you've worked on an improved behavior with your clients, then they can export it to different areas of their lives and to different forms of the same behavior. So that's how you identify clinically relevant behavior with your clients in session. Was that any better? Oh, you think so? Okay, thanks.